I think we've set aside a whopping $1,000 in the budget for that, haven't we?
And of course, we will absolutely. Along that lines, how many people do you think, I mean, for the size of the grant and the program, how many people do you anticipate that you'll be able to affect? I mean, like, to make an impact, a positive impact on their ability to become more fiscally literate, fiscally responsible.
Well, what our challenge is going to be is we're going to have 6 months through the 2014 fiscal year, or 2014 calendar year. We're going to have 6 months to market and implement this strategy, and then by the end of 2014 be able to produce reports and demonstrate that it was somewhat effective. So how many people can we reach in that 6-month time? I'm not sure. Do you recall what the minimum numbers were?
For the 6-month period, I think we were looking at about 65 households.
65?
Yeah.
Which how many actual counselors?
They have a staff person who's already doing this type of similar training.
And that's what these wages are? That's what we're paying that person to provide that counseling for our citizens? Is it just one person, or how many?
The grant specifies that we have to provide 1/2 of a FTE, so 1/2 full-time employee.
We do have an employee who has been trained in poverty eradication efforts. She's a licensed master's level social worker, and she's working in the community now. We intend to have her go through the training and provide half of her time during that 6-month grant period to market and do counseling. We also intend to have at least one more staff person, possibly 2, go through the training just so we have a backup person.
And for those of you that are familiar with what the Information Center already offers, they were an obvious fit to partner with for this, because so many of the resources that we would want to point these families to, they're already, if not directly offering, they're directing people to these other services.
I have 2 questions. One, this is just for Taylor families?
Yes.
Okay. And then the second one, it says that the City of Lansing is in its 2nd year of implementation of this initiative. What has been the feedback with Lansing? I mean, have they had a positive impact with this program?
Lansing is in their 2nd year, if I recall correctly, and they're boasting that they've been successful. I have not seen the numbers. We've not yet had our first actual strategy meeting. In fact, I think we're set for next week. So one of the strategies is to provide financial type of counseling. Another strategy is step 2 type strategy is to try to touch base with lending institutions that would intentionally work with our families who might have challenges in getting traditional lending institutions to even give them a checking account because their bank account support their financial history support. So these families wind up pursuing the predatory lending institutions, payday advance folks. No offense if they're still at the room that makes a living through payday advance, but I mean they are certainly predators. And they prey on families that can't go to PNC or a charter bank. So we'll try to establish partnerships with those groups. We'll try to establish partnerships with Wayne County Community College. We've reached out to Baker College. So we're just trying to set people in a trajectory to change their circumstances.
So the $24,916 would be a cost to the city?
No, there is zero cost to the city.
Oh, okay.
The matching costs you see there are costs that are being matched by the Information Center.
Oh, okay.
No, the city will be out nothing for this.
Okay.
The only thing that we'll be asking of the city is that Mr. Wayman's already left us. Is that as Eric joined us in some of the meeting initiatives, and the grant is really intended to come through a municipality, or in the case of Oakland County, they went through the county treasurer's office.
And of course, the space, we obviously want to make sure that we partner if you guys need some space here for the training portion of it.
And so many of the families that we feel that could be served by this program are already coming to Eric's office.
Mhm.
They're already in the habit of looking to the community development website or the community development department. So the community development department is an obvious fit to partner with.
And so going back to the earlier discussion about, the home rehabs, I mean, generally, that's kind of the same clientele that's going to need this type of assistance.
So really, what we're looking for from the city is, because the grant had to go through a municipality, they wouldn't let the housing commission apply on their own or in partnership with a nonprofit. So we would simply look to the city to receive the grant funds and disperse them to the information center. And I will do all the administration through our end because we think that that's going to be pretty good. And there's no, unlike community development block grants, there's no legacy administration.
Well, thank you, John, very much. It's looks like a very positive program.
Thanks.
Do we,
My thought
one
is,
last question. I mean, on the $25,000 amount, in like the case of Lansing, is there a chance that, next year that number changes? I mean, could it go up? Could it go down?
there's a strong chance. It was never intended to be a long-term. I think they say 3 years is about the best that you can expect to get funding for. So the idea is that you'll establish something on your own and then use your own community partners and philanthropists to continue that funding.
Mm-hmm.
My personal feeling is that it would be tough for us to do as a municipality, but we'd have a better opportunity to do something regionally. So I've had conversation with other community development professionals in Wayne County, and there are other communities that pursued this grant and weren't awarded that are interested in looking to partner with us to do something on a more regional scale.
Great. Thank you guys so much.
Yep. Appreciate it.
Okay, moving along, item number 6 is a request to rezone some property. Do you want to explain that, Dave, or do you want me to do it?
I'm referring to you.
Okay. This is something the planning commission reviewed last week, or last time. And it's a piece of property, actually it's where the moose is on Telegraph. And it's currently zoned for office, and they want to rezone it for regional business. And the long-range plan is to build a banquet facility there. And then if that goes well, then I believe the long-range plan is to build a hotel or motel behind it. And there were only 2 residents there that only expressed a concern about drainage into their backyard. And the prospective developer did promise that there would be no traffic in and out of that facility from Pine Street. It only is in case of emergencies that it would be fire trucks and police and ambulance. And they are willing to even increase the required amount of landscaping up to 50% more. So, Planning Commission did pass it on to council to receive and file, the first hearing on this.
And a little more detail about the actual operation itself. The gentleman currently owns a banquet facility in Wayne, and I don't recall the name of it, but it's similar to a Crystal Garden type operation. It's a high-end banquet facility. So it's my understanding that it's going to be something that's an upgrade from a Crystal Garden. I mean, that's kind of the expectation that they created.
Now, the moose is still going to remain?
No.
Okay.